Good morning, my fellow artisans. Welcome back to Artisan Electrics channel. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you're subscribed to the channel so that you get regular video updates from me. So today I'm here back at the bakery, and for those of you who've seen it, I found a crazy earth fault here the other day with this dishwasher. It was measuring 100 volts between the casing of the dishwasher and the sink, which is next to it. So I've come back today to put in a new circuit for this dishwasher with a 16 amp commando socket especially for it, because it was basically overloading the circuit that it was connected to. Before it was just on a 13 amp plug top, and it's already taking about 14 amps constantly. Also, while I was here, I noticed this, which is not great. So I recommended to the customer that we sort all this out. I mean, it's just all been kind of slung in. So what we're going to do is just replace all this old twin and earth that's painted in along the wall there with some new PVC conduit. The distribution board's just on the back on the other side of here. So I'm going to put a new circuit in for the 16 amp socket for the dishwasher, which will go on the wall here. Run a conduit along here and then 90-degree bend down and into the socket. That will be on its own circuit on a 20 amp RCBO. And then we're going to run another conduit, which will probably reuse the two legs of the ring here. And we're going to run another conduit along, probably put a T-box here, T down, put a double socket there for the various other appliances that they're using. Then continue along all the way around and over to there. So you can see there's a double socket, well, two double sockets on the wall there. They're actually kind of overloaded, and they're not in the ideal place really. I'll show you. So over here, these are really old, these double sockets anyway. One of them's doing this fridge here, which is fine, but then the others are just trailing across here. One does an extension lead to run a mixer and a couple of other appliances over there, and then the other one does like this mixer here and this hot plate. So really what we need is one double socket here, but then another one about there to plug in these two appliances, and then running around the corner and put another double socket on the wall there somewhere for the other, I think it's like a pastry roller or something. This is a bakery. So I'm able to work here alone, which is why I'm here, because of obviously the sort of lockdown situation. I'm only doing jobs where I can either work by myself or it's an emergency. There is quite a lot of dodgy old wiring around this place. You know, it's just a typical old bakery basically, but we're not going to start rewiring the place. We're just going to do the work that they've asked us to do for the moment, but at least it's going to make it a lot safer. For example, here you've got these old twin and earth cables that we're going to be replacing, which are just kind of painted in, and they're already kind of loose and not great anyway. Obviously they're above an escape route as well, so when we clip the conduit round, we're going to put some metal fixings on the conduit to make it so that it won't fall down in the event of a fire. There's a few dodgy things as well, like this old isolator here, which is just open, so I'm just going to check that out, and if it's still live I'll just disconnect it at the consumer unit and make sure that's safe. There's another dodgy old isolator here, very vintage. It's quite nice to see these kind of things in an old bakery really. It's a bit of history, but electrical safety has to come first obviously, so I'm going to sort that out. I'll show you the DB. This is a DB that I put in actually myself a little while ago, so you can just see it up here. It's a 3-phase distribution board. There's only one circuit in it at the moment for a new oven that I put in a while ago, so we've got plenty of spare ways, and just going to pop through the wall on the other side, run the conduits along the wall. There's a couple more DBs in here. So the one for the actual sockets is this DB. So what I'm going to do is make sure that those sockets and the new circuit that I installed for the 16 amp socket are on the same phase, so that there's no issue between touching two different sockets next to each other with two different voltages, because you don't want to have 400 volts between two sockets that are right next to each other, ideally, although you can do it and just put a label on there to let them know. But yeah, priority is just get this all sorted out. This is an absolute mess, and get some sockets in the appropriate places for them so that they can actually work safely in here. So this is one of the great things about this electrician's hammer. You just easily lever cables off the wall. So I've just taken these socket faces off, and I've just undone these two screws, and something just got me thinking, you know, these have been fitted a long time ago, probably before we had electric drills, and they used flat screws, and it's almost impossible for me to undo these by hand. They're really, really stiff. And it just makes me think maybe electricians in the past were much stronger than we are now, because they must have had to done these up with a manual screwdriver, you know? Let me know in the comments what you think, but I just think we're not built like we used to be, that's for sure. So I managed to get these screws out now, but they were so stiff that the only way I could actually do it was to grip them with my snips like that and just give them a couple of half turns to get them going, and then once I've done that I could get them out with a screwdriver. Let me know in the comments what you do. Do you do the same little trick, or have you got a better way of doing it? I'd love to know. Right, so I've started to get things mounted up now. So I've got the 16 amp socket here with a double pole isolator switch that I'm going to use as an isolator for it. I've got my feed coming in from the consumer unit going along in that conduit, and then what I've done is taken the two legs of the ring into this conduit, into this box, and I'm going to take one down to this socket and then put the other one in Wargos and extend it along and around. I'm just going to continue the ring. I was thinking of doing actually just joining those together and then doing a radial the rest of the way in 4mm. But I picked up some 4mm singles and then realised how expensive they are, and I've not got the budget to do it on this job. So I'm just going to use 2.5 twin and earth and just extend it round. It just means it's going to be a bit more fiddly to get in the conduit, but it's doable anyway. This whole place is really rustic, and none of the walls or ceilings are level at all, so it's kind of impossible to do a perfectly neat job. So what I'm trying to do is just run it in as neatly as I can. I got some metal fixings up here just to avoid premature collapse in the event of a fire. So I've got up to here now with the conduit, and then I fixed my boxes here and here with some clips. What I've got to do now is just run the clips up and along and around, and I've got another socket to go down over there just above that counter. And then once all the clips and the socket boxes are fixed, I'll just cut the conduits to length, put the conduits up, and then start cabling it in. Right, so I've got all my conduits in now. So this back box here, I drilled a little 25mm hole in the stainless steel shelf here, and then run the conduit straight through, all the way along there, down into that one, across, up, across, all the way along and down. So I'm getting there now, so it's just time to wire. I think what I'm going to do as well is drop an extra run down and just put a low level socket there, because there's some kind of little pump down under here with a plug on it, and the plug won't reach to this socket, so I'll probably just put a spur down there for that, and then yeah, get some cables in and start wiring it all up. Right, well, I was trying to be clever and save a bit of money by putting 2.5 twin and earth in and continuing the ring round, but it's just a nightmare. It's not going to happen. Trying to pull 2.5 twin and earths and a bit of 20mm conduit, it's just nightmare. The reason I was trying to do this is because I booked out this 4mm singles, and TLC charged me 40 quid a roll for 100 meters of 4mm singles, and I was like, that is crazy. I didn't expect it to be that much. I thought it would be like 10 quid a roll or something. Anyway, I'm just going to use the 4mm singles, and I'm going to go back to TLC and say, I think you've overcharged me for these cables, because I'm sure I got a quote for like 10 a drum the other day from BEW. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to just pull all this twin and earth out and do it properly. Should have thought of that at the start really, but I was just being stupid. Right, so the wiring's all in now. So what I've done is taken the two legs of the ring down to here to this first socket, and I've put them in these 30 amp Vargo connectors with then a 4mm set of singles going down to the first socket, back up, in and out of this socket, and then up and along, in and out of there, in and out of there, up and around and down, and then this is our end of line. It's all 4mm, so I can take 32 amps, and now all I've got to do is start connecting everything up. And I also need to get a little bit of cable in between those two, sleeve that up and connect that up. So the sockets are all connected up now, and what I've done is just done a flying lead to the back box from one earth terminal, and then the main earths in and out on the other terminal. The slightly annoying thing about BG metal clad sockets, which by the way I ordered MK ones, but because of this whole crisis they didn't come in, so I had to go with something that they had in stock already, which was BG. The annoying thing about these is they have special socket screws that come in the packet with them, and they're slightly different to normal socket screws. The tops are like flat instead of rounded, and so if you lose them, which I have done, then you've got a little bit of a problem. So yeah, just slightly annoying. So this old switch fuse here that the cable was hanging out at the bottom, it was actually live, believe it or not. So what I've done is I've disconnected the outgoing cable that was just cut off and bare conductors were showing, and I've blanked it off with this blind grommet on the bottom, so it's all safe and nobody can turn it on. Well, no live parts will be accessible at least. So I'm just going to close that up, and then at least it's safer than it was. I'm not sure what it's for or what it was for, but whatever it was, it's not in use anymore. So this is the bit where I say, and here's one I prepared earlier. This is a nearly brand new 3-phase DB that I put in. In fact, I'll leave a link up here somewhere to the video where I actually put this distribution board in and the 3-phase socket for the oven. So what I'm going to do is add a new circuit on phase 1 for this 16 amp socket. I've just taken the twin and earth and a bit of flexi conduit up to the wall just to protect it, because there is that pipe that's quite close to it. And I'm just going to put the new RCBO in here, connect all that up and do some tests, and then I'll be good to go. So I'm just doing an earth loop impedance test now on this end of line, just to check that everything's okay. That's a fairly good reading, so I'm happy with that. I'll do an RCD test while I'm at it. That's good, so the RCD tripped as it should. 12.7, 33.9, 43.6. Good. Okay, so we're all done. So I've got my isolator here, 16 amp socket plugged in and working. And then we've got 2 double sockets here, and all the way along here we've got another double socket here. Then around here, another double socket for these 2 items, along and around, and another double socket for here. And I've managed to get rid of all the extension leads, which I don't know about you, but I just find that so satisfying when you can just create a pile of extension leads like this, because you've removed them all and you've put an adequate number of socket outlets in. So pretty pleased with the result. Just going to clear up now and get out of here.